We got a very special hour ahead of us, so without further ado, I'm going to invite Steve and Marlena from Koei Tecmo.
Hi.
Okay.
Cool, this is very comfortable. Hi guys, thank you very much for coming. I'm Marlena, this is Steve. We're from Koei Tecmo and we're going to be taking you through a couple of demos for our upcoming titles today. The first one is a game called Deception 4, The Nightmare Princess. You like it, yeah? You're playing it now, that's perfect. Perfect, okay, so you'll probably be a little more familiar with this title. So Deception is essentially a trap action game, so your character, the character that you control, is called to defeat her enemies by luring them into traps that you've set in a room and then activating them in sequence. Hopefully that will come up with some very, very funny and entertaining videos. A little sadistic at times, but I think it's quite good. So Stephen will take us through a couple of the stages that we've got.
Cool.
Deception 4, The Nightmare Princess has two key storylines. The first one follows Lygrina, the dark side princess, as you can see on the screen now. She is trying to defeat the descendants of the people that imprisoned her father, the devil. And by defeating them, by killing them, she gets to break the seal that actually keep him in his cell and eventually free him. But today we're going to focus on our new character, Valkyrie. She's called the Nightmare Princess because in order to defeat her enemies, she lures them in a demi-plane between the dreamland and the waking world, so creating a nightmare. She's a new character for us. She's the first character in the Deception series that can actually have an attack power, so she can kick and she can jump. That gives you a few more options, so you can kick your enemies into traps, as you'll see a little bit later, or you can also avoid them. If we go in, her story unfolds through 100 quests, most of which are quite difficult to beat, well, at least for me. Maybe Steven is going to do a little bit better. And we're going to take you through a few of those today, and hopefully try to explain a little bit about the game as we go along.
So we're going to start with lore. Here we have a series of rewards and conditions. You need to meet the conditions within the quests, and you will unlock new rewards, which are new traps, and you can use those in the later stages. So if I go into here, you can change the setup that you have for your traps, etc. I'm not going to do that at this stage because we haven't got a lot unlocked in this demo right now. But you have a series of traps which you've got 12 slots, and you can change them and mix them up as you so wish. It makes for some interesting combinations, different types of traps and things. And then you've also got your abilities. Here we've only got 2 abilities, but you unlock more later in the game. So let's get started.
You have 3 main categories of traps that you can pick from. Deception, you have humiliating traps, elaborate traps, and sadistic traps, and each of them gives you different bonuses. Sorry, I think I jumped the gun a little bit here.
This is the Demon Eye. This will give you details on some of the characters, the enemies that you're going to be facing. Gives you a little bit of backstory, gives you an idea of the character, kind of where they came from and what they're about. You can also go in and have a look at their resistances and vulnerabilities. Certain enemies are actually invulnerable to certain traps, so you're going to have to pick particular traps which will work against those enemies. It ups the difficulty a little bit and makes your trap selection, your choices that you use for your trap selection a lot more vital. So
yeah, you'll need to be a little bit more strategic there. Also in Nightmare Princess, there's a mode called Deception Studio where you can go in and create your own enemy. and give them a background, change their appearance, give them a different name, and pick their vulnerabilities and immunities. So that gives you even more options into who you defeat.
So here we are in the trap menu. It's just a simple button press to get into the trap menu. You have your different types of traps. You have wall traps, you have floor traps, and you have ceiling traps. I'm going to use a combination of all three of these. And as you can see, they're different colors. So you've got the yellow ones, which are humiliating. They tend to be the kind of the funnier ones. You get the sadistic ones, which are the red ones, which are kind of the blades, the spikes, etc. And then you also have the elaborate traps, which are the more skill-based traps. So go into a setup. I have given this a little bit of practice, just to try and get a good setup here. So I'm going to use I'll start with the floor trap, which is this Delta Horse radio. Two of the traps are pre-set up already. I'm going to move that into a wall trap, which is, I can only use the red marks around here to set the trap here. I will then move that into a skyrocket. And have a pumpkin land on their head. And I'll finish it off with a suspending ceiling trap. So setting these traps up in a particular order, you can actually chain trap combos, and they will increase your score at the end of a match, and they'll also get better damage on your enemies for the health and stuff. So I'm going to try and kick this enemy into number 1. And it's just a button press to activate the trap. So we have the humiliating traps like this. Yeah. First slide off there. I'll set him into a nice little pocket. There we go, boom. And pop goes the pumpkin. And I'll drop the ceiling on his head. And as you can see, the points there are all based on the types of traps that I used. And that's taking them down.
You actually make it look quite easy, but I would never be able to do all that
the whole thing is, it's not that simple. It takes a little bit of practice getting used to where traps will leave your enemies, and then where to set your next trap to chain the combo.
The levels that we have on this here are quite early on in Valkyrie's story, so they're a little easier to complete. You don't even have to do a 7-trap combo that Steven did here to actually finish the particular mission. However, they do get progressively a lot more difficult and a lot more complicated, and in order to get all of the requirements right and receive all of the rewards in the end, you have to try a few times over and over again.
As you can see here, we've unlocked a few new traps. I'm not going to switch over to those. We're going to use the traps which are already set in the demo here. So I'm going to move on to a different stage, which is based on the combo system. And I will also show a few different things which is used in the environments as part of your trap.
Stages have a number of traps that are already part of the room. So you can also set your traps and make sure that you can utilize the room as well. I think we're gonna use a few of them.
I'm gonna use a few of the room traps, which are quite specific to this room. In the actual game, you have many different environments that you can go into. They all contain various different rooms, which also have individual and quite unique environmental hazards and traps within them, and this is going to be using a couple of those. So I'm going to do a bear trap to grasp the enemy, and I like to use bear traps to start because it holds the enemy in place. I'll then use a swinging axe. I'll then launch them into a suspended ceiling, which we saw at the end of the last one. Then pop the Delta Horse to knock them in there. I'm then going to do something a little bit different, which is I'm going to use the pumpkin on a button here, which will activate a trap which is part of the environment and can only be used once. So you have to be careful not to trigger the trap too early. We're then going to go into a skyrocket here, which I'm hoping is where she lands. And we'll finish off with a springboard. And you'll see why I use the springboard at the end when you see the combo. If I just lure the enemy in. Okay, so the environments actually hit me as well. So I have to be careful of the environment myself. My own traps will also harm me. So I have to be careful not to be standing in the way of my own trap. When I've played this game many times before, I missed the combo there.
Didn't even made it to the end of your trap.
It didn't even make it to the end. I'll restart that one quickly and I'll just show you the environmental trap. It did clear the quest though, so I'm happy with that. But I can do better. The environment trap in this one I do quite like. It does a fair bit of damage to the enemy's health. And in the later stages, some of the enemies do have a lot of health points, so having good combos and having very damaging traps does make a huge difference. So pop that one, Delta Force. As you can see, I've given this a fair bit of practice. I know exactly where I'm setting these traps. X there, and for the finale, a springboard. Let's see if I can not get hit by the environmental hazard this time. The thing is, it's also timing is quite crucial in this game. So the timing of your trap, making sure that you score the next trap before the initial head screws that up again.
I think you killed her.
It did.
You killed her again.
I did. It popped up and pushed her into the spikes again. Okay, so if we move on to the next one, which is actually...
Yes, let's show the next one as well, because we've spent a little time on it.
I do use the environment in the next one as well, which is pretty cool.
The particular demo that we have is quite an early demo, so it only has one of the stages, but in the final game there will be four main stages with various rooms where you can go into. So this one is based in a medieval castle, so all of the traps that are preset in the stages are kind of relevant to that setting. There are also stages inspired from playgrounds and amusement parks or hospitals, so they have very, very different options for you to play around there.
So here we're going actually against Lagrina, who is the other protagonist in the game. This is actually one of the harder levels, especially in this demo. She will use traps against me, as well as myself trying to use traps against her, and she's got a few special moves. So I have to try and avoid those while trying to lure her into the trap. So it's a little bit more difficult. The first one I want to set up is a bear trap, as I have done before. I'm then going to use a torture wheel, and I'm going to have it come down from the stairs so it rolls down. I will then finish her off in an Iron Maiden. Followed by a skyrocket up here. A Delta Force Rodeo across the clear. Now this swinging axe is quite crucial as to where it lands, because I'm going to use an environmental hazard here. And I'm going to actually try and use two within this setup. hopefully I don't trigger the other one, preempt, it's quite easy to do when you're trying to dodge her attack. So I need to try and lure her in towards this one, and as you can see, she's trying to use her traps against me. Come this way. They don't always go where you want them to go. There you go. So now she's going to be rolling down the hill. Like the maiden. And as soon as she pops out, I send her down a rocket. And then this is the crucial one. Smack her on the bum. Straight into the furnace there. Yep. Oh no, I triggered that early. I moved. Fling her in there, and there should have been a finale with the cage going down at the end.
Cage, but I think you got her.
It's so easy to trigger the traps by mistake, and you also, with the other character, you also auto-dodge, so trying to skip these traps is hard.
Of course. After you clear the stage, Lagrina automatically is unlocked in mission mode, which means that you can use her in a free play setting. There's also 3 more characters that you can unlock in this game as playable characters. They are the protagonists of Deception 1, 2, and 3, some of which were never released in Europe, so this will be the first time for European players to see those characters and play with those characters. Each of them also have special powers that you can use. So one of them has the ability to slow time, for example. The other one is regenerates very quickly. Unfortunately, we don't have any of them available in this demo, but I'm hoping that we'll have some images of them quite soon. Deception 4, The Nightmare Princess, will be released in the UK on the 17th of July this year. And this demo that you saw here is available to play at MCM in our booth today.
Which is just over there,
yeah,
behind
we're
the hill.
right outside.
Yeah.
So on your way out, you can stop by and give it a go. And Stephen will be around to show you how he does his amazing combos.
I hopefully will be able to pull them off a little bit better than I did here.
Great. Yeah, thank you.
So we're going to move on to another game next.
Yeah. Yeah, or if I don't know if the guys have any questions on answer them.
Any questions, or shall move on with the next game? This question. We'll take a question. Here we go. Could you stand up, please, sir? Thank you.
I'm not sure if you said, I might have not heard you, but did you say the first 3 Deception games have not been released in Europe?
Not all of them.
Not all of them. So the first 3 haven't been released here.
No.
Have any of them been released?
It was we released Deception 4 Blood Ties last year. It was a game that followed Lagrina, the first character that we didn't see, or the one that Stephen defeated in the end.
One he just killed.
The entire content of that game is actually also included in this
one. Did Deception 1, 2, or 3 come out in Europe?
Deception 2 and 3 definitely did not come out in Europe. Deception 1 was a very, very long time ago.
PlayStation 1.
And I think it was released, on the PlayStation 1. So
okay,
quite a long heritage for the franchise, but it just hasn't had many releases in the West. It's quite
excellent. Any more questions? Here we go, another question. Stand up, please, sir.
Are Blood Ties players able to transfer their saves and so on? Because obviously we spent quite a lot of time making really stupid combos and kind of customizing our mansion. So are saves still able to go for the Lagrina campaign? Or?
Yes, from what we know so far, saves will be transferable. Plus there will be additional traps and additional stages that you can also customize as you go along.
Excellent. I think that's it. On with the next game, right?
Yeah.
It's just a matter of... I went the wrong way, right?
Maybe just that.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Marvelous. And here we go.
Perfect. Okay, so the second demo we'd like to show you today is from Samurai Warriors 4 2. This is
that game.
これが武田の赤面の
So each
力
of the scenes actually starts with capturing, giving a little bit of highlight of the story. It kind of breaks down, combat.
Namato was famous for his red armor and for his helmet that had two protruding horns. So those two things have been incorporated in the design.
So this is one of the things that were in the game where you pick two characters. Previously to this, previously to Samurai Warriors 4, you only ever had one character that you were controlling on the battlefield, and now you have two characters and you can switch between them as you play. You can see which ones are friendly to each other using this smiley face there. I'm going to pick Honda here.
I just love this little...
He's cute, isn't he?
Yeah, it's very cute. Kind of makes you think that the game will be peaceful.
It's not peaceful. There's no peace in the warring states of Japan.
Well, maybe in the end.
Yes, yeah.
When you finish the game.
So there's an oversight of the environment which I'm going to be fighting in before it gets filled with enemies. So here we go. It follows a similar formula to Dynasty Warriors. But there are new attacks which are hyper attacks. They were featured in Samurai Warriors 4, which you initiate with the triangle button. You can do combinations starting with triangle as opposed to just using square. The Musu feature is also there with the circle button as normal. You get objectives throughout the game, and they are marked on the map. So I usually have to get certain key officers, the ones, say for example this guy here with the target on his head. Mixing up combinations of usually triangles and squares. There's a little bit of button mashing, but some of the combos they build up over time, and you learn more combos the more you fight. You also get a special move for each character, which is using the R1 button. So let's fight our way through these little pawns. Now I'm about to hit in a red zone. I know the gate's closed. Once I get this gate open, let's use my move too. There we go. So I've got to defeat this guy here now. I believe the story in here is very much in line with how the previous one was done, where you picked in the previous games you kind of picked a family to watch their story in the Warring States, and as Marilena explained, you kind of pick a particular character and you just learn their backstory. In these red zones, this is a new thing that was featured in Samurai Warriors 4. You have flag bearers, which, while they're present, they will actually increase the difficulty of the enemies and the strength of their attacks within these zones. So you want to take out the flag bearers just to make the area a little bit easier to battle in. When there's a deep red zone, they're particularly difficult. You're not going to survive very long, especially in the harder difficulties. And you can tell the enemies that are actually a lot stronger by the ones with the flashing bits above their heads.
You could always send your second character into a red zone.
I will switch to my second character. Oh, there we go. It's gone into a cutscene.
Introducing the...
So, yeah, my second character will be on the battlefield. I can actually control where I want them to go. So I'm not controlling now Master E anymore, so I can get him to go and attack any particular officer within the field. So I'm going to send him over here, and I'll get him to attack this guy, and that'll be his target. And you can see the arrows pointing.
The route he's going to take up there. And obviously that gives you more of a tactical advantage as well, because you can focus on the most difficult areas of the map, and you can send your secondary character, or rather your non-controlling character, to the other side to take care of an enemy officer or start clearing an area, so you can just switch to them.
Yeah, sometimes you have two objectives on the map at once, and that will... being able to control your two characters, or having one of your officers go to the other side of the map, it makes your life a lot easier, as opposed to having to, in previous games, traverse from one side of the map to another and risk failure on the basis you may not get there in time or miss an objective. So I want to take down these guys here.
Quite intimidating.
There we go. Yeah, this guy.
Left.
This guy could be a bit of a beast. Unfortunately, I think the controller's actually failing a little bit. It's not doing all my button presses.
Is it not as fast as you are?
No. So I'm going to switch over. Where's my? Oh, just got whacked in the face.
The Samurai Warriors 4 2 also introduces two new elements in the growth system of the characters. They're not actually available in this demo, but I'm going to run through them really, really quickly for you. One of them is that you can merge your weapons and create stronger weapons as you kind of gradually level up. If you keep merging weapons that have the same skill descriptor, the same abilities, then there is a chance that you might break the level cap and create an epic weapon of your choice. So I think that's it's going to be quite handy for the more difficult battles.
Yes, yeah.
And another element, which is a favorite of mine, is that you can now use different mounts. So you can pick which mounts to take with you, which horse to take with you to battle, and they all also have different abilities, different skills, and can be leveled up.
Yeah, the controller's almost controlling itself in a sense. Right, let me switch over to him. Oh, I need to get those guys on the other side of the map.
I think you're displaying how easy it is to be defeated.
I kind of am. Unfortunately, this isn't being as responsive as I hoped it would be. Right. Hopefully, my other guy's mooching his way over there. Yeah. I'm gonna call my horse. There you are. On the demo, you were kind of restricted to a timer, which is a little unfortunate. But in the actual game, you do have near infinite time, and I think these guys are going to get to their objective point.
I think they're going to manage to defeat you before you finish the demo.
I think I'm showing a good idea of how to fail in this game, and.
Yeah.
The most common cause of failure is usually not being able to get to an officer in time.
Yeah.
Or not completing your objective. Oh, I'm actually running out of health. There we go. He's done.
Awesome. Very good.
So you pick up weaponry from officers. Should be a health box in this this pack here. So that help me out. We're going to move over to the officer in the back here. Hopefully I don't run out of time before the demo.
Before you reach your objective, we'll see. Out of the 13 characters in Samurai Warriors 4 2, 9 have been introduced for the first time in Samurai Warriors 4. So I think it will be quite interesting for fans of the franchise to see the personal stories of those characters. The other 4 are fan favorites. They were picked after a poll in Japan of the favorite characters of the fans, and of course the new one that we mentioned before, and it's now somewhere close to you. Oh, there he is. Now Masa.
I've only got 30 seconds on the clock here.
You can't go that way, see? There's a little line that says don't go that way.
You can't get into their barracks. I'll just try and close those gates.
Oh well. So this is our short 10-minute demo for Samurai Warriors 4 2. It's also available for you guys to play in our booth.
Hopefully you can play it better than I can.
Hopefully better than Steven. If not, maybe you can hone your skills a little bit and show everyone. It will be released in the UK on the 2nd of October this year. So a few months to go, but yeah, for a first taste, just when you walk out the door, we're right across the aisle from you guys. So yeah, I don't know if you have any questions for us that we might be able to answer.
I'm going to wander over into the crowd.
We might not be able to answer.
There we go. Can I just squeeze past? Sorry, thank you very much. Can you stand up, please, sir? Question?
What's the main difference between, say, this and Warriors of Orochi?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
What's the main difference between this and Warriors of Orochi?
Warriors of Orochi is a game that's based in an original fantasy scenario. It brings together characters from Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors, Ninja Gaiden, Dead or Alive, and they're all pitted up they're all drawn in a world that has been dominated by an evil demon god who wants to pit them up against each other for his own pleasure and amusement. But then they band together and they fight against him. Samurai Warriors is a title, it's a tactical action title that is based on the history of the Sengoku era in Japan. That's between the 15th and 16th century. And it follows the history of the time quite accurately. So the battles and the alliances in the beginning of the game are quite historically accurate.
Excellent. Any more questions? Questions? No, I think that's it then. Can I get a huge round of applause for Marilena and Steve, please?
Thank you very much, guys.
And your stand is just over there, right? They can play a load of games, yeah?
Yeah, as you get out the door, don't even turn. Just cross the aisle and you'll find us and demos for these 2 games and everything more.
Did we want to do the...
Oh, we also, thank you for reminding me. We also have a little bit of a gift for one of you guys. It's a special edition, special anime edition of Samurai Warriors 4 is the game that preceded this one. It was released last year. Not a lot of them were made, so it's quite limited. And I don't know, do you want to tell us who the new character of Samurai Warriors 4-2 is, and we'll give it to the first one that answers.
So you got to shout loud.
No, something easier? Yes.
There we go. We have a winner.
Congratulations.
Right, I've just got to find the prize now. I'll put it down here
it's
somewhere.
Over there, and we'll.
Did I put the prizes down here? Do you want to pass the bag, Tom? Here's the wonderful bag of.
Thank you.
Wonderful bag of Koei.
Maybe take the demos out.
Yeah, the bubble wrap.
Or.
You win some bubble wrap as well.
Yeah. Woo. I'll take the bubble wrap, okay, and you just take the game.
There you go. Can I get a round of applause?
Thank you very much.
Well done.
Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you very much, folks. Another round of applause for the wonderful Koei Tecmo.
For Stephen and his magic thumbs.
Thank you very much. We'll be back in about 15 minutes with Annie Wershing. Then after that, we've got John Robertson's amazing, only live action video game, and you guys can get involved. And then after that, we're playing Payday 2. So that should be good. Payday 2 Crime Wave Edition. So it's your first chance to look at next gen Payday. It's good fun. It'll be hilarious. Thank you very much, folks. See you shortly.